Page 81. So use your knowledge of the Pythagorean theorem and its converse to solve each. So let's see. Number one, a carpenter attaches a brace to a rectangular picture frame. If the dimensions of the picture frame are 30 inches by 40 inches, what is the length of the brace? So we know that, let's label them. So we have this frame right here, and this would be 30, this would be 40, and the length of the brace right here would be the diagonal, which I'll be labeling as x. Okay, so we know the Pythagorean theorem, so 30 squared plus 40 squared should equal to x squared, right? So let's go ahead and set it up like that. So 30 squared is 900, 40 squared is 1,600, and which should equal to x squared. So if you add these up, you get 2,500, which is x squared, but we don't want x squared, we want x by itself to figure out the diagonal or the length of the brace. So we would just take the square root to get rid of squared. So x squared, to get rid of it, or the inverse of that, would be to take the square root of both. So x squared becomes x, okay? And 2,500 square root of that would be 50, okay? So it's going to be 50. So the diagonal is 50 inches long, or the brace is 50 inches long. And moving on to number 2, Bill is staking out a location to build a rectangular deck that will be 8 feet wide and 15 feet long. Tyron is helping Bill with the deck. Tyron has 2 boards, one that is 8 feet long and one that is 7 feet long. He puts the 2 boards together end to end and lays them on a diagonal of the deck area where they just fit. What should he tell Bill? So let's just label it again. I drew this rectangular shape right here, and we can label this as 8 and this is 15, and we're looking for the diagonal x right here. So we have this right triangle. So we would set it up like this. 8 squared plus 15 squared is equal to this hypotenuse, which is x. Okay, so x squared. So if we do that, 64 plus 225 is x squared. You add it all up, you get 289. And you take the square root of that to figure out this x by itself, which you get 17. Okay, so the diagonal of the rectangle needs to be 17 feet, but because the 2 boards' combined lengths are 15 and not 17, Tyron should tell Bill that the deck is not a rectangle. Okay. Number 3, a television is identified by the diagonal measurement of the screen. A television has a 36-inch screen whose height is 22. So I've already labeled it for you right here, 22. And this would be the x, and 36. So the inch is measured by the diagonal. So what is the width of the television screen, which is x? Round your answer to the nearest inch. So in this case, we're given the hypotenuse and one of the legs, and we're looking for another leg. So it's going to be 22 squared plus x squared is equal to 36 squared. So 22 squared is 484, and 36 squared is 1,296. And to figure out x squared, you would have to move this over to the other side by subtracting 484 to both sides. Okay, so if we do that, we get x squared is equal to 812. But once again, we're not looking for x squared, we're looking for just the x. So we're going to have to take the square root of 812, which is, to the nearest inch, would be 28. So it would be 28.4 something something. And if you round it to the nearest inch, it'll be 28 inches.